Ooh. Hey, thank you to all of you that are on time. Welcome to our team call. I feel like I just turned it on because I just hit record. I was like, whoa, let's go. So thank you to those of you that are on time, ready for announcements. Announcements I know can be kind of like boring, but a lot of stuff, it always amazes me. You guys don't know. I don't know like it's all in your back office. Most of it is not information that I'm like hunting for, but also I enjoy shouting you guys out that deserve a little extra shout out. So let's get to that so we can get to these awesome questions that you guys asked. So make sure you have a pen and paper ready to go for announcements. Pet peeve, I really don't like it when people ask me about announcements that were covered on the team call, but then obviously for the content of the call. Okay, anyways, so I want to take just a hot second and shout out everybody that contributed to the 106 lives that Flex changed in July. It's amazing, you guys, and there were a lot of you that pulled it out in the like last 24 to 48 hours and hit that business non-negotiable of hitting Success Club. Amazing, amazing job. Seriously, way to go if you changed a life. I'm really proud of this July board and can't wait to see what August looks like. We already have 7 lives changed. And shout out to Emmy, who has already locked in Success Club. This girl is on freaking fire. So I want to give her a little extra shout out. Our top volume producers for last week were Danielle, Krista Beardsley, and Krista Townsend. It was clearly a Krista week, and Danielle and I were just crashing the party. So team volume, remember, is the sum of all TV that's generated from purchases made by all of your downline. So not just your coaches, it's from your whole organization, and we all contribute to each other's organization, which is really, really, really cool. Scroll. Okay, news. We have 10 new coaches added this week. We did get new promo codes for August, which is so cool. I love the promo codes. And so you got 3 per business center. So for example, if you have your mom signed up, your mom got 3 promo codes. And then anybody who signs up, just noticed something that's bothering me. Anybody who signs up between now or gets active, I should say, between now and August 8th will get their promo codes as well. And then now all new coaches within 30 minutes of signing up as a new coach get promo codes, which is really freaking cool to be able to share as they launch their business. So cool. And we have the promo codes, like ring the bell in the team page, which I had a lot of fun watching you guys ring the bell for that and stuff. So I was like, let's just do it again for August. And I have a lot of prizes and cool stuff to give away. So works out. Our Success Club 10 gift for August is, you guys were like, hype, man, is Maven Thread headbands. I had to hide these from Leo. So this is my stash of brand new Maven Thread headbands, so many good ones. And whoa, Leo is like obsessed with taking them and not actually washing them, but putting them in the dryer. So I had to hide them so I don't get them confused with mine. And you guys probably don't need Chief's like hair on your headbands. And then pumpkin spice Shako is coming a month from today, 4 weeks from today. 4 weeks from today, September 3rd, you guys. I don't even like pumpkin spice, and the Shakeology is unreal. You'll have to stay tuned and check out the FAQs. I'm not sure what the rules are going to be. Last year, it sold out in the US in 15 hours, and they maxed how many you could get in your business center. And I plan to, what I did for, in my boot camp, I knew it was going to be crazy. I don't think it's going to be as like asinine this year. I think they'll have more stock. but I knew it was going to be crazy. I had heard about that in the roundtable. And so what I did was I just bought extra. Well, I didn't think I was even going to like it. So I bought some and like sold it to my clients and maybe some of you guys, and just had them like pay me for it. So then they didn't have to like hassle with it, because it was not a good launch. We've had great launches since then. They fixed all those problems, but it was just, I knew it was going to be crazy. So that's coming September 3rd, and I'll share more of like when the FAQs come out and stuff. But last time it was like a max of, I'm going to say 20 boxes, and they're not full boxes. I think there were like, maybe I'm confusing, I don't know. It was the last amount because it's limited edition. And then there will be 2 waves of the launch for pumpkin spice, so that people who love it can order it again, which is so nice of them to do. And then in September or October, maybe it's November, I don't know, one of those months will be the winter Shakeology limited edition. There will only be 1 wave of that mocha peppermint, and it will sell out quickly. So have that stuff on your calendar, guys, for like planning purposes, for like your Shako shipment purposes and budget and all of that good stuff. And then last thing is Recover is $10 off all month. So I don't think it will automatically do that. Like if you have it on auto ship, I would cancel it and reorder it. So yeah, it's $10 off all month. Okay, there are no dumb questions. Let's get to the questions. And there are some repeats, but that's good. And if you think of questions, put them in the chat, because I want this to be really valuable for you guys. And if you think of questions, obviously you should get them answered. Okay, so these are in no particular order. This is a productivity question. When you're in the middle of sending out follow-ups and invites and going through the list and someone messages you back right away, do you stop what you're doing in terms of your task to answer them? Because Instagram will tell other Instagram users that you're active. The answer is absolutely not. Ever, ever, ever should you answer messages on the fly, because it will break up your productivity. And most people don't care about that answer. Makes you look really desperate. So listen to that one. I don't want you to answer messages on the fly ever, because one, you will get burned out. You will be connected to your phone all the time. You'll never finish inviting, and you don't need to look, you're not desperate for a sale, so you don't need to look desperate either. So no, you should never stop what you're doing. Thanks, Kate. You should never stop what you're doing to answer messages. I don't care what you're doing. I really only answer my messages once a day, and I just empty all my inboxes and just let them fill up. I don't really pay attention to them. If I'm like just relaxing and I see that, I like that Instagram says replied to your story, then I would answer those, because they have typically, it's not a question about, or it's not like I'm in a combo. Does that make sense? It's not an invite necessarily. So those I might answer like when I'm sitting around, but working purposes, answering messages I do 1 to 2 times a day. I always have. I swallowed that pill long time ago, and like when I was I remember I was still teaching kindergarten, so I was still student teaching, and I remember thinking like, can't be on my phone all the time. Like people are just gonna have to deal. And then I saw my numbers like increase. I saw my productivity increase. It's kind of a weird, it feels like it wouldn't be like that, but it is. Okay, that was long-winded. Can I go over my follow-up schedule again? Yes, it has not changed. I actually just have it written down right here. So I don't know if this is gonna be backwards for you guys, but follow-ups 1 and 2, I do weekly. Follow-ups 3 and 4, I do every other week. And then follow-ups 5, 6, and 7, I do once a month. So bear with me here as I try to explain how I do this. So every single week, no matter what, I do follow-ups 1 and 2. And then, and then every other week, I'm either doing follow-ups 3 and 4 or 5, 6, and 7. So it would be 3, 4, skip a week, 3, 4, skip a week, 5, 6, 7, skip a week, 3, 4. Does that make sense? So it ends up being that I'm doing an extra set of follow-ups every other week. But I didn't used to work like that when I was working full-time. I did a little bit every day. So you just kind of have to find what works for you. You have to be consistent with follow-ups. And I will share in the chat this is all in the Google Drive, which is in the description of FlexForce FAM, but, excuse me, those are my follow-ups. Copy, paste, send, man. Copy, paste, send. Okay. I know we aren't using Captivate anymore. Best way to gain followers organically. So Captivate is totally gone, guys. It is, it's gone. It's against Instagram's like policies, whatever. It's gone. There's no use in like crying about it. Like we knew this could happen. Like you guys, like tomorrow, Instagram could be totally gone tomorrow. Like we have no control over any of that stuff. So that's my 2 cents about that. How to grow your following. So this is kind of, I'm going to give kind of 2 answers here. This is a huge topic of discussion in my leader groups. I'm going to give 3 answers. So the first one is to find what people want to hear from you and post more of that. That's how you're going to grow organically. And you're like, if you're like, I don't know what people want to hear about, ask them. Like do a sticker, do a post. I've done so many different posts. Like guys, like my content, I feel like is like, be honest, like be like, I feel like my content is lacking, but I want to show up for you. What are some things that you like to see on my page? And like give some choices. And oftentimes it will be things that are absolutely unrelated to what we do as coaches, and that's okay. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you you. A lot of people now like to follow me because of like my hair training tips and stuff. And I'm by no means a hair expert. I'm just learning and sharing as I'm growing. You know what I mean? So ask people what they want to hear more about. Also, I will post in the team page a call that I watched from another team, from Team Elevate, Ashley Feldyson's team. Oh, excuse me. I have to readjust here. And she had an Instagram chica on. Maybe I'll try to get her on a team call, actually. Just write that down. And she talks about how to find hashtags. And the short answer is to use the app. It's called Smart Hash. And you will find you want to find hashtags that are like under 100 or around 100,000. Like you don't want 1 million, you'll get buried. But spending some time, like, again, this is something you can do while you watch a show with your spouse, like, is looking up stuff in Smart Hash. And I need to write this down. Ask Instagram. Okay. But that's what I did a long time ago. And I have like different banks of hashtags based on the things that I post about. And that has been helpful. But you guys, there's a lot of people who don't use hashtags and grow organically. Just the more engagement that you get on your posts and stuff, the better. So you just kind of have to figure that out, like find a groove, like figuring out questions to ask that people want to respond to. And using those posts, like I said, it's oftentimes that people don't come to you for, or aren't on your page necessarily for the health and fitness stuff. Like, okay, the obvious one is a lot of people are on my page right now because of my pregnancy. So I have to find ways to talk about like the health and fitness and coaching side within a pregnancy type post. And that helps get more eyes on my page. Okay, the second, that's tip number 1. Excuse me, the heartburn is real at night, guys. Tip number 2 is to do different types of giveaways, because this can be like, seriously, like, this could be like when 80 Day Obsession launched. I was trying to think when that was, like over a year and a half ago. I did like a giveaway of loops, and they cost me $10. And you can go to my page. I do a giveaway a week now. I'm trying to be more consistent, not trying. I am being more consistent about giveaways on my page. When you do them yourself, your engagement will boost. And the idea is that you can see my example or my giveaways and use it as an example. But then when they tag other people, the idea is that those people will come check out the page, and if they want to follow you, they'll follow you, you know. And it's always a rule that they have to win, they have to be following you, blah, 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 okay? So you can make it really simple. I've given away like Energize, that was like under $15, a packet of 10. I'm definitely going to do that when I'm nursing again. For Hydrate, that's $10. And then as you start to grow, I encourage you to reach out to other like companies that you are using or whatever, and just ask them if they want to collab for a giveaway, because then it's good for them too. It builds trust for your following, and it boosts your engagement. It won't necessarily, when you collab with another brand, it won't necessarily grow your following, because the brand is kind of pulling from your following. They're not necessarily also posting the giveaway. Does that make sense? But your engagement will boost. Then that will trick Instagram into putting your stuff in front of more people. It's all about tricking the algorithm, guys. And who doesn't love a giveaway? You can always share it. Like, sure, you guys have seen me do it if you follow me, but I then post it to my stories. Like, I talk about the giveaways, like how they can turn on post notifications for my page so that they get notified when I post a giveaway, because I've been doing one every week for over a month now. And yeah, then people just, it's amazing. Like, heard this at Summit last year. Angie Belmar, who's been a top coach like ever since I started, a lot of her top leaders, like, she asked them one day, she was like, where did you guys, like, why did you start following me? And a lot of them were like, I was tagged on a random giveaway. Like, isn't that crazy? And I'm not saying that's like going to be everybody, but doesn't hurt anything for sure. And then a couple of us leaders have been using this is tip number 3, and this is ready if you're like wanting to do a little bit more. So I know for sure Danielle, Kathy, and myself have done these. It's with an account. It's called Classy Loops, and you basically pay to be in a giveaway, and they tell you what to post and stuff. It's super, super, super easy, but it is more, but that does grow your following more. So if you want to talk about that more, just message me. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. You guys, like, seriously, I have like all of this, like, I ordered something from Sephora. Oh, I needed more dry shampoo, and Amazon was out. So I ordered from Sephora, and I like randomly got all of these like samples that weren't like in the packets, you know, like they like are legit samples of like It Cosmetics, a couple other brands. I don't know. I can't see it from there. It's over there. And so I just like keep all this stuff that I don't actually want myself. And now I have like a decent makeup giveaway that I'm going to do. And all of the stuff I'm looking at, I think cost me personally, I bought a Kylie lip kit. It cost me, there's something else I bought in there, $12. And it's going to be like a big, I mean, there's like 10 things in there. But it's all just things I've collected maybe over the last year. Like, you know, when you get stuff and you're like, oh, that's really nice, you know, but I don't want to use it. I don't know. Just keep all that stuff. You can like make it cute, make it a giveaway. I mean, I wouldn't do something random like, here's this little sample of Shape Tape. I don't know. It's a shitty example, but you know what I mean. Okay. That was a really big common question. So I hope that helped. If you guys have more questions about that, please, please, please put them in the chat. But I love personal giveaways. And you can also do it, like I saw a lot of bloggers doing this. You could team up with other people on the team and do a giveaway, kind of like a mini loop. Like there were 5 big bloggers that I watched one of them, and they started talking about they were going to do a giveaway. 5 of them teamed up to do an espresso giveaway, and each of them took a day, and they each then, so one of the girls' names is Erin, and I follow Erin, and Erin was like, talking about it, and she was like, so-and-so is sharing their Nespresso recipe today, and then she would, for 2 or 3 Instagram story slides, she would talk about why you would want to follow Jade, was one of the girls' names. Like, Jade posts a lot of stuff like this. She's super fun, blah, blah. Then the next day she'd be like, okay, now it's Ashley's turn. She's sharing her recipe. Her recipe has something to do with XYZ. On her page, you're going to find certain things like this, super fun, and the rules were you had to follow all 5 of the girls. Well, I ended up following all 5 of the girls, even though I didn't even enter the giveaway. And all they did for their giveaway was obviously to follow all of them, and then they did one of those sliders. So it was just boosting their Instagram story engagement. And guess what? I watch all of their Instagram stories now because they're super cute. So that's a fun way if you guys have have established relationships and made friends on the team to buddy up and do something like that. And then that's going to give you more cred when you are hyping up a team member too, because we all bring a different flavor. You know what I mean? So that's a tip. How long would you say on average? Oh yeah, I just saw this question. I don't think there's any day that's better or worse for a giveaway. Okay, how long would you say on average? How many days does it take to bring someone from interested to purchasing a package and joining a boot camp? For me personally, it takes anywhere from 4 days to 4 months. So I'm not exaggerating, about 4 months. I have people that join after follow-up 6. I have some, I would say it's no sooner than 4 days for me. 'Cause also keep in mind, I'm not sitting in my inbox. So it's anywhere from 4 days to, and the 4 days people have probably been watching me for a year. So, yeah, I love that, Danielle. People who started, it's so funny when I go to put somebody in streak and they pop up and they were in the not right now, from literally last year. And they've just kept creeping. Not in a creepy way, but and then sometimes then they're ready to sign up. But at that point I've invested time. Great question. And how do I get them to move to purchasing so quickly? I don't. Some people do, some people don't. I count everybody out. If someone tells me, I kind of started this joke a couple years ago that if someone tells me they're going to order on payday, I'm like, you're not going to order. And I almost mentally cross them off. And then if they do, I'm shocked. I usually tell them I didn't think you were going to order. But right now, I definitely use the promo codes as an incentive and say, the promo code I'm giving you, I'm passing it along in 12 hours. Be reasonable. But, yeah, Alex, you always come to mind. Alex, yanked me around for a little while. But anyways, now she's crushing it. But use the promo codes to your advantage. In the follow-up script, there's order follow-ups 1, 2, and 3. And then if they don't respond, they go in my regular follow-ups. I don't know. I just don't bank on anybody anymore. because you're the only person that gets burned when you do that. Olivia, think of like, how would you tell your best friend about this? Like, if you just went to like this awesome restaurant or saw this movie or concert was coming to you, like, how would you tell your friends? Yeah, just talk normal. Like, what makes you excited about the opportunity, and talk to that. So like, Emmy and I have very different, like, I mean, she loves the fitness side too, but I think her like heart is in the nutrition. Okay, not me. Like I'm into the nutrition, I'm into the results of nutrition, but like I get jacked about like our performance supplements and our workouts and that stuff. So that's kind of what I lead with. I love that tip, Emmy. Use the voice memo whenever you can, because even if you use the voice memo to like talk to text and make it into text on your phone, so that it's something you would say, because you'll know, like if you're walking in your house, you're just texting it to yourself and something comes up, you say it, it comes up on your phone, you're like, I would never say that. Then delete it and make it sound like you. Like if you're like, oh, that didn't really sound like me, you know? How do you get your posts to show up more on people's feeds? I kind of talked about that. Also, the more you are like going through the people that follow you, like Chelsea has talked about the alphabet method. Like if you go to your following and click like K, like you're like, I'm gonna do all the Ks today. That will kind of trick Instagram's algorithm into putting your posts out more. Also, getting on the like explore page and stuff is totally lucky. But the nicer your pictures look, like clean, crisp, clear, looking cute preset, not dark, alley, creepy, you know, the more likely they will get on the explore page. Yes, good reminder, Danielle. Yeah, so the more people, just to continue off, I saw like a second part of Alex's question. The more people of your following or your friends on Facebook that you're talking to, the more your posts will show up. Like, have you guys ever noticed, like if someone DMs you, like an old friend or something, and they're talking about, I don't know, like a high school reunion or something, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I've seen so many of Chelsea's pictures, and like all of a sudden, it's not coincidence, it's the algorithm. Like they think you're reconnecting, and that's what those apps are made to do. It's social media. It's to be social. Growing on Instagram answered. How are you keeping the number of people you're following low? I still use the Cleaner app. You can still use Cleaner. I just used it the other day. And I definitely don't follow most of the people, obviously, that follow me. Like really, it could be 0. I don't really use Instagram like for anything other than business. So, anyways. If I sign up my fiance, do you have to purchase a challenge pack to become a coach, or can it just be like Shakeology? So, quick answer is you will get Success Club points and commission and all the goodies if you sign them up with a challenge pack. So there's actually, this has evolved in the last year. You could do like a 3-day refresh. You could do a nutrition program like 2B Mindset, challenge pack with Performance Line or whatever, or Ultimate Portion Fix. And you would get the points and the commission that way. Or you can pay the $40 sign-up fee, and then they need 50 PV to be active, which is roughly $50. So then, yes, they could do Shakeology. And you guys, just like fun fact, like Recover is enough alone is enough to keep somebody active. Okay, those are all the questions on that thread. Excuse me. Okay, difference between Success Club 5 and 10. I know we want 10, but why? Okay, so Success Club 10 is signing up 5 new people with a challenge pack. It's obviously going to help you grow a lot faster. If you're signing up more people a month, you'll be making more commission. And if you sign all those people up as coaches, you know, for the, let's just devil's advocate here, like for the discounts, and they're all discount coaches, you'll get $100 bonus for signing up 5 coaches within a month. It doesn't have to be like 1st to 30th. It's actually 5 weeks that they give you. So you get a $100 bonus. That's one reason. Another reason is when you're Emerald and you hit Success Club 10, you get what's called, I don't really know why they're called this, but you get what's called Shakeology leads, and it's free commission. Whereas when you hit Success Club 5, you don't get the commission off their initial order. You get them as a customer, but you don't get the commission. Does that make sense? That's the biggest difference. Then obviously you'll grow a lot faster if you're hitting Success Club 10. Oh, okay, growing your Insta, we talked about. How to make sure you're providing value to your current followers, just ask them what they want to see. And then make sure that they're like, it's lining up. So you guys, like, people tell me all the time, they want to see more recipes from me. Okay, then when I post a recipe, it bombs. People do not want to see just any recipe from me. They want to see a clean Starbucks recipe. They want to see a like something yummy. They don't want to see dinners. They really don't. And that's kind of like me too. I don't really give a shit about dinner recipes. And you can provide, this kind of goes this goes along with it, this next question. So providing value, you kind of have to find like what makes you you, like what are things that you like, and provide value that way. So here's an example, like it's not a secret that I love Lululemon. Okay, but a lot of people think Lululemon is overpriced. But anyways, so something that could add value is finding like Amazon dupes, you know, that are a quarter of the price. And then you just told your following about something great that they're interested in. That adds value, that builds trust. It doesn't have to be like the only way, it's not the only way to build trust is with recipes. Like, for me, I like when, like, my favorite bloggers to follow right now are people who share like cute outfits. Like that's what adds value to me, at a good price, and share things like that. So I'm trying to think of, you just have to think of like what is in your interest wheelhouse right now, and share more of that, like as you're growing in that. Sounds like weird. So I'm going to mention this again, like it was like sounds weird to say this. It was like a pregnancy goal of mine to like figure out how to wash my hair less before I have this baby. So I started just like talking about it on my social media. Okay, well, people are really interested in that. Not because I just like got lucky and I was like, just found like the holy grail of what everyone who follows me wants to hear about, but it's because they're like me. And if you're sharing things that interest you, exactly what Gina just said, your friends will be interested. So I remember telling one of my girlfriends at one of these bachelorette parties I was at, I was like, Ashley, you would love following so-and-so. It's all about hair training. And she started talking to me about it. I'm like, well, this is what I've been doing and stuff. So then she's like, she's here for it on my page, one of my girlfriends, like, and I'm adding value to her. It just doesn't necessarily directly correlate to health and fitness, but you guys, we aren't Beachbody. That's just one part of our life, you know? Like your social media should not bleed blue, like a little bit. Should have like a vein, you know? I don't know, that analogy was weird. But, and then I sprinkle some things in, you know, like I'm sharing what I do with my hair after a workout or whatever. So I hope that makes sense. just one example, but you guys, it's seriously with anything. Focuses of pockets of time. This is obviously like my huge wheelhouse because I did this for 3 years while I was working full time. So figure out your income producing activities. Just telling them to you right now. There are connects, invites, and follow-ups, and then answering your DMs. Figure out when in your day you want to knock those things out. And it's okay if one pocket goes into the next pocket. And then, but once you're done, like it's kind of, write it down. Like you guys, like some days I would have like 50 follow-ups. So 50 follow-ups, I write that down. And then my goal for invites. And then how many connects I wanted to do. If you write those down, like once it's crossed off, like on a to-do list, you don't go back and you're like, oh, I'm going to grocery shop again. Like it's crossed off. So just move on to the next task. But honestly, focusing your pockets of time on income producing activities is what you need to do. And then on the weekends is when I would spend like time doing like content creation. That's when I'd write these things down. Like tomorrow I'm going to do some things for the team, like do the Emerald to Diamond like progression for my PS coaches. So I write that down. Once it's done, it's done. What are you considering a connect? You can totally choose following people, or I'd like comment on a post, or I mean, it's kind of up to you. Like, what would you consider a connect, you know? Excuse me. Ways to change up your Insta stories every day so your morning workout routine isn't the same thing each and every day. Okay, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I think, okay, so when I was working full time, like my routine was the same every single day, and a lot of people followed me for that. And I thought it was so boring. You're probably the only one who thinks it's boring. I don't know, I think that shows consistency. I don't think that's boring at all. I would literally show the same thing Monday through Friday. I would never talk on my stories. I will never talk within the first 30 minutes of waking up. Me like dumping my Energize into my cup. Yeah, it's like a TV show. Yeah, it's just, like, you know what to expect. You know what time it's going to be on. Like, I love that. And then I would show like 2 workout clips. And then I would show like maybe my recover. Okay, that's 4, like I would do those things every day. Like you're showing that you're getting your results through being consistent. Okay. Okay, covered growing on Instagram. Couple more questions. Best ways to keep your current customers invested and dedicated, getting those coaches who are inactive back to active. So first, I'm going to say that Danielle, I'm going to have you talk about this if you don't mind. But you guys, watching coaches go inactive is part of the business. I'm going to have Danielle talk about what she does for retention because it's really, really, really good. But also I want you guys to know, like I'm looking at who's on this call right now, and I've seen a lot of you guys go inactive as coaches, and you're like actually wanting to do the business. So 1, don't be that coach, and 2, know that it's part of, it's just they're not doing it to like be an asshole. Like they just might not they might be backed up on Shakeology, or like they don't want it this month or whatever, you don't know. So, the retention piece is going to be huge that Danielle's going to talk about, but then just know that that's why it's important to always be filling your bucket, because your business has holes on the bottom. And if you're not constantly pouring more water in, your bucket will run out dry, and that you don't want that to happen. Okay, Danielle, go ahead. You're unmuted.
Thanks. So I started probably a few months ago. There's a new spot in Coach Office where you can click on subscriptions and see how long people have been on things for. So you can click Shakeology and it'll say how long. So what I do is when someone signs up, I always send I don't have them out because I didn't know I was going to talk about this, but like a little note card, a thank you card. So when anyone signs up, I send that. And I put inside of it these little cards that I had made, and you don't have to have that or spend the money on that. But so when they're on Shakeology for 3 months, I send them a like water bottle decal. When they're on it for 6 months, I send a headband. 9 months, a tank top, and a year, like a $20 Amazon or Target or something like that gift card. But the other things I would add to that are I make sure I check in with my girls. So you have got to be checking in with them. If you are not, and you sign them up and you throw them in, especially if you throw them in someone else's boot camp. So like if you throw them in Rachel's boot camp, or if you're one of my girls and you're throwing them into my boot camp, obviously I'm fine with that. But they see me every day and I'm the one talking. And so if you are not checking in with them personally, and then they're going to fall off. That's just what's going to happen unless they're super motivated themselves. Most of the people will fall off. So you've got to be checking in with them. You've got to be looking on my challenge tracker and seeing if they're logging their stuff. If they're not logging it, I send a message and I'm like, girl, you're not logging your stuff. Like, what's going on? Are you doing it? So people, people need that. That's why they join. They need the accountability, most people. And then I would say, lastly, I have probably 2 coaches go inactive every single week. So I get the email and it's like, so-and-so has canceled. And the first couple I got, I cried to Rachel. I sent messages and I was like, oh my God, why did she cancel? She didn't tell me why she was canceling. And, she's ghosting me. What happened? And now I know, like, it's nothing personal. It has nothing to do with me. A lot of times people have financial issues. They need to take a break or whatnot. So just know it has nothing to do with you specifically, but I will say that is why I try to go hit SC every single week, so that when those emails come through, I'm not clutching on to the fact that Sarah doesn't want Shakeology anymore because I already have new people coming in. I've never once gone inactive. Rachel, would you agree? I've never once gone inactive. So no. Yes, do I have extra boxes of Shakeology? I sure do. Is that good? No, it's not. I know it's not. But I will never go inactive. Rachel will never have to worry about that with me. And if you are going inactive as a coach, then why would your people be committed to ordering all the time too? So you have to think about it like that. You have to think about it. You guys who are on this call, you're on this for a business. Everything you order can be a tax write-off in some way. So you have to think about it as an investment for yourself. And then you just fill those gaps constantly and you don't worry about specific people ordering because you're filling it every week with new people.
And the more you guys you are talking about other products too, like when I started, we only had Shakeology. And now we have Energize, Recover, the whole performance line, bars, collagen is halfway to active. And now the apparel line has volume, so that can help with activity. Just the more things that you're using yourself and talking about. I'm not saying you need to spend hundreds of dollars on everything that we have to offer. I'm just saying that there's a lot of different options, and you never know, like some people, like I see in the virtual gym, like they love Power Greens. I don't even use Power Greens consistently, but I've tried it, I've talked about it, that sort of thing. So keep that in mind. And you guys, some of you guys probably don't even know that you've gone inactive before, and that's also not good. You should be checking your back office weekly. Danielle, have you found that you have more people staying active and ordering more consistently since you started doing this?
I don't know, obsessed about it. I really, to be honest, I don't care. I'm more concerned. If someone's going to go inactive, they're going to go inactive. I don't think they're going to stay on because I'm sending them a headband. But I also post it in my Facebook group of the girls that have won those gifts for the month. So it's good for everybody else in there to see as a reminder that I send cool stuff.
Love that. And you guys, there's so many different ways to check in with people, and you just have to find your groove with it. So I send at least one email every single week, and pretty much nobody responds to it. But they know that I usually make a joke at the end, like, can't read your mind. If you have a question, I'm here for you, that sort of thing. But just the more, you just have to continue leading by example and doing the things and checking in and being their coach and doing what you said you were going to do. And at the end of the day, that's your job. Like Mandy said, just be adding value. Totally normal. Danielle says totally normal for people to ghost when she checks in. She just take it super personally. And you guys just instead, like, I know it's easier said than done, focus on the people that do respond versus like the people that don't. I don't know. That's just a mindset thing. It'll just make it more, it's just like a glass half full type of thing, you know? Great questions. Using small amounts of time to your advantage. So make things a game, you guys. Totally, we're on a different path here now. Make things a game. If you're even a little bit competitive with yourself, or make somebody be competitive with you. Like Danielle used to text me and be like, okay, I have 10 minutes. I'm going to do this many invites. And then she would like, that many minutes would pass and she'd be like, okay, I didn't get that many done. She'd say like 50. And she's like, well, I got 36. And I'd be like, okay, beat your score tomorrow. Like, hashtag who cares? Nobody cares about what you got done in that 10 minutes, but it keeps it like more fun. It's a mundane task. Like, it's the same thing with like, I don't know, like folding laundry. I'm never like, yay, I'm gonna fold laundry, but I like when my laundry's all done and put away. So sometimes I make it like a stupid little game. So you find little things like that to maximize minutes, because those minutes will turn into conversations, which will turn into paychecks. Okay. Hope that kind of helps. Organic growth, we totally talked about that. I mentioned using Smart Hash. I'm going to try to get that girl on the call. And Smart Hash is helpful because you think it gets creative for you. So when I type in something like pregnancy, it would be like pregnancy diary, which is a pretty good hashtag. And then you have to like go into Instagram and like check out the hashtag so that you're like, okay, cool, these people look like my people. It's not like not my people. I don't want to say something offensive. That's meant to be a joke. Okay. Strategizing adding people is kind of something I do personally. I know a lot other leaders on the team just do that like hands-on, and I will help with that. It's kind of a case by case, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. It's kind of like a huge can of worms. So first priority is Emerald always, and then next priority is Diamond ASAP. And then there is some strategy to get to Diamond, and your coach or myself, like if you have a question, please message me. Like, Rachel, I'm about to sign somebody up, or it's never annoying to me. I love strategizing that stuff. Just shoot me a message, and it's totally a case by case. And I'll have like questions and you'll see that it's case by case, but there is strategy. And that's where to put new coaches and clients. When should you make a purchase from a spouse account? So if you have a business non-negotiable of hitting Success Club, you do have to have 90 PV on Home Direct. So that means automatic shipment, even though every month, like you guys, I just ordered my stuff for August. I already canceled it because I know I'm going to get a bunch of pumpkin spice, even though that doesn't count for HD. But anyways, I'll just know I'll be backed up on Shakeology. So anyways, so you need 90 PV on HD. Then everything else beyond that, if you're getting other products, you should go under your spouse account because you're going to start building that volume. And then what I say is hit Success Club in your account ASAP, and then you can start building everything in your spouse account. This is a generalized rule. There are extenuating circumstances, disclaimer. But then anything that's also from the very beginning, anything that's not a challenge pack, you should put under your spouse account. So if somebody comes to you and they're like, listen, I need some Energize in my life, or hydrate, I'm a new mom, whatever, put that order under your spouse account. Just let them know, obviously, that it's going to say that on their share cart. And then you will collect the volume for that in a different way. Helps maximize income. When your BOD renews every year, so Danielle's BOD just was about to renew or expire, whatever you want to call it. And so she got a challenge pack. So she just canceled it and was like, messaged me like, what challenge pack should I get? So you can do that. That's a really good bang for your buck. You don't like get any points or anything. And you do need to have BOD in your account to qualify for leads versus your spouse account. But those are some good spouse and customer questions. You don't have to do that. You are not required. Okay, there were a couple questions I saw in the chat. Okay, so Kate was saying when she signed up a year ago, she got a challenge pack initially, but didn't sign up as a coach. Then about a month later, signed up as a discount coach. But when I signed up as a discount coach, the $40 fee was waived because of the challenge pack. So what is the best way to bring this up when you're trying to get more coaches? Here is my combo guide. And at the end, it tells, well, you can read it, but I have like how I send them a coach share card. So Kate, your fee was waived, but you had to pay it initially. So some people, that's annoying to them, and they're like, well, that's super annoying. I don't want to pay the $40 even though it's going to be reimbursed. It's an extra step for everybody while you're building for income income rent, it's the same thing. When you're building to Diamond, I highly recommend signing up everybody as a coach. But if they're like, I don't want to do that, that's fine. Then just sign them up as a client. It's totally fine. But that's kind of the difference there. This went down to the bottom one to make sure I covered that. I signed up as a discount coach. You just never know then who's going to work the business. And I don't know if I would have been annoyed by like going through this like $40 sign up fee, and I don't know. Katie, that's so normal, especially on this team. I was actually just thinking about this the other day. For people watching the recording, Katie said, do I see coaches going from a slow start to really successful, and do they do something drastically to change the way that they went about their business? This is basically how flex leaders are born. On other teams, you'll see people that like hit Success Club 100 in their first 3 days. Like, I don't know, like that's fantastic. That's not ever been how this team is or was. And that's not how I was. I was just built slowly, but consistently. But anyways, that's how I've seen all leaders be born. And the thing that on this team, not on other teams, they can speak for themselves, but yes, super slow. And to be honest, so I kind of have this mentality, and I don't want anyone to think I'm like shitting on them. I'm totally not. But it's kind of just like when people tell me that they're going to order on payday, I just like count them out until they're in. I kind of do that with coaches too, because otherwise I'm like really sensitive. I kind of get my feelings hurt because I see so much potential in people that I end up like dragging them. And then they don't want to be dragged because, like, picture my little self, even this pregnant, dragging somebody across my yard. Like, that's ridiculous, right? I'm going to be out of breath. I might go into labor. They're going to get all cut up and stuff. Might be dragged through dog poop. You know, it's not good for anybody. Emmy is a great example of this. Not that I was ever, like annoyed, but I just didn't count her in. And then one day she was like, I'm in, and she backed it up with action, and she's been on freaking fire ever since. That's been a lot of the leaders that have come on this team. Is honestly what I've seen change on my end is just a mindset to actually do this and not be half in, half out, and have that coach cancellation form up on a tab, and to not be like, if this doesn't work out, whatever, like, they're not thinking that anymore. They're just like, I'm just going to do it. Does that kind of make sense? So, and it's not that, it's totally not that I never thought you'd be a diamond, because I saw so much potential in Emmy from the beginning, but I just never emotionally invested. Does that make sense? I don't want this to sound cold. It's not. Like, whenever Emmy would ask me a question, she asked me a lot of questions before this big explosion. Emmy's been on the team for a long time. But I was never like, oh, Emmy again. I was never like that. But I just like meet people where they're at right now. And if it's appropriate, give a little appropriate love and lovely nudge. And tell them that I see potential. You guys, like, if you're on this call, you have so much potential. It's a mindset thing for sure. If I know someone who's already on BOD and is only interested in BOD, but wants to put me as their coach, do I get any credit for that? Is only when their subscription renews. Only when their subscription renews, unless it's been a new order in the last couple of weeks. If everyone signed up on payday, we'd all be at the top. That like really made me laugh. Do you have to have 90 PV to hit Success Club? Yes. Does it have to be on Home Direct? Yes. You guys, like when you order stuff, order it on Home Direct and then just cancel it, because otherwise you're paying up the ass in shipping, which is just stupid. Not that you're stupid if you've done that, but I'm just saying it's just shipping is stupid. So just always order stuff on HD, and then when you get it, go in and cancel it. It takes like 1 second. Not actually 1 second. And yeah, you can just postpone what you need. I feel like, I thought I saw, I know that I just realized that, Mandy, you had a couple questions in yours, and I read the first one time, and then I skipped the rest, and it was not intentional. Best PD of all time, you guys. Best PD of all time. We're almost done, and I hope that the winner of, I did the random name while Danielle was talking, stays on the call. But so far so good. Best PD of all time. If you guys are any little bit motivated, that was not appropriate English, but if you are motivated by income at all, I highly recommend reading Get Rich Lucky Bitch. I was just texting Danielle about this the other day. One of the best books I've ever listened to. It's my favorite book. For 90 PV on HD, you guys, you can do literally anything you want for products. You can do bars 1 month. You can do next month. You could do collagen, 1 box of bars, and Energize. Like, you can do seriously anything you want, as long as there's a tab in your back office that says Success Club, and it will say what your PV on HD is, and if that gets you to your qualification or not. It's like a checkbox. What gets you out of a funk when shit seems to be going south? Maybe I shouldn't be ending the call on this note, but it's not your fault, Mandy. So you guys, like, we are all human. We all have highs and lows. I'm pregnant. Some days are not good. I don't want to be pregnant anymore. You guys, the biggest piece of advice I can give you is, and I'm not even going to be like a hard ass here, like, is to give yourself some grace and to like allow yourself to be human. If you feel comfortable, you talk about it on your social media. For me, that's typically therapeutic. There are things I will not share on my social media, and that's okay too. But give yourself some grace, give yourself a day, and find a way to show up in a way that serves you, but don't, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like, to do invites until your eyes bleed when you have horrible first trimester morning sickness. I'm just not going to do that. But you can drink, if you're able, you can drink a glass of wine. For those of us that are with child, you can, like, just my biggest piece of advice is to give yourself some grace. but then to pull out too. Like, does anyone does anyone want to add to that? Like, I would say, like, okay, like, allow yourself kind of like to have a pity party, but then to be like, okay, but tomorrow I'm gonna get XYZ done, and it's gonna be better. And yes, I love that, Danielle. Remind yourself why you started, because you're gonna have days, weeks, maybe even months where you're like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this because I've went through this, and you have to decide if you're going to show up anyways. Like for me, I was like, well, while I decide here, I know I'm not going to look back, and if I'm like, okay, I'm going to quit, I'm not going to look back and be like, oh man, I wish I didn't put in that hour of work every day. I wish I would have spent it watching Netflix. I knew I wasn't going to do that, but I knew that if I stayed, I would look back and regret not showing up for that time that I was like in limbo. And obviously I stayed. That was a long time ago. Don't quit. Someone's counting on you. I love that. Take a time out, nap, you time, get back into it. Yeah. And sometimes you'll need a day. Sometimes you'll need a couple days. Prove those haters wrong. You guys, there are people who watch you, and they're literally watching you, like waiting for you to quit. This is why MLMs get a shit rap, because so many people start and stop. Don't be one of those people, like proving all those people right. Refresh and recommit. Love. Make all these responses into Post-it notes. Yes, Alyssa, I love that. Someone, like, how powerful is that? If you write that on a Post-it note, someone is counting on me. Someone is counting on me. And put it on make it your background on your phone. Okay, that's all the questions. You guys, that was a super, super fun call. I hope that you took something of value out of it. I hope to see lots of giveaways. And I love, you guys, I just have to give all of you guys that asked questions kudos. I know that asking questions can be hard, and you guys all phrase them in such a positive way, like ready to learn, and that makes me so happy. Sometimes I read questions and I'm like dreading the answer because I know people don't want to hear the answer, they just want to bitch, you know, but none of it was like that. So I really appreciate every single one of you that were on this call live. If you're watching the recording, drop your takeaways in the comments. And our winner for the giveaway is Jen Simpson. So message me your mailing address, girl, and I'll get you something out tomorrow, my super secret special gift. And I'm just really proud of all of you guys. So now take what you learned and put it into action, and let's get after it and freaking crush August and live up to the potential that I see in all of you. Love you guys.